With the newly launched Peak of Combat, fans are excited about starting the game. It's a great title with some of the best gameplay mechanics we've ever seen on mobile. But in this video, we'll discuss and discover some of the most useful tips and tricks that you should follow to ace the game. So let's talk about them. At number 5, we have play the game in 120 FPS mode. Well, you might think that the game is poorly optimized, but that's really not the case. The studio behind Peak of Combat acquired the rights to Devil May Cry, and they did an amazing job of creating one of the best and most optimized mobile games ever. And yes, the game does support 120 FPS mode as long as your phone supports it. Here's how you can enable it. Firstly, click on the menu button, and at the end of the menu you will see a setting options, so click on that as well. Now click on the fourth option, which means graphics. You will see a monitor icon right on it. Once you're in the menu, you will see that by default your FPS will be at 60 frames per second. So crank it up and see if it goes all the way up to 120 Hz. And if you have a gaming phone that supports a 144 Hz screen, you might be able to crank it all the way up. Once you have selected the 120 FPS mode, click on the tick icon on the bottom right of the display to make the changes. Now you can enjoy the smoothest gaming experience ever. At number 4, we have use combos. One of the most interesting aspects of Devil May Cry Peak of Combat is the combat, of course. Once you are in the battle, you understand the importance of combos. So combos are basically you using multiple buttons to do a large amount of damage to your opponents. For example, by pressing the dash and button A, you can do a sliding attack which will most probably not even let your opponents take a break. Similarly, by learning different combos that you can find in the character book icon on the top right corner, you can literally destroy your opponents. As you explore the menu, you will understand how many combos there are. So the best Peak of Combat tip for you is to master the combos as soon as you start the game. It will give you a huge head start compared to other opponents. At number 3, we have dodge your opponents like there's no tomorrow. One of the most interesting tips about playing Devil May Cry Peak of Combat is the fact that you can dodge your opponent almost any time. When the number of opponent increases, it becomes harder for you to maintain your composure and still fight. You might get attacked in the most unconventional way possible. So for that reason, I recommend you to dodge every time you feel like the opponents are about to attack you. For that, you will need to follow their body language and predict when they are about to attack. Once you learn the art of dodging, you will become the master of Devil May Cry without even wasting your character's health. At number 2, we have save your game on phone booths. In Devil May Cry Peak of Combat, you will find random booths where you can save your game, upgrade your skills, and just move on with the game. While this might sound pretty random, you need to understand that saving is one of the most important part of this game. So whenever you encounter the phone booths, do not forget to save your game. Moreover, phone booths are also a place where you can upgrade your skill and get ready for the next big mission. Because if you don't save your game in Devil May Cry, and if you die in mid-battle, you will have to do unnecessary missions that you have already completed before. And nobody wants to do that, right? Finally, at number 1, we have used gun and dash to maintain distance. Some bosses in Peak of Combat are too big and it's impossible to kill them fastly. In that case, what did you do? Well, Dante has his iconic guns named Ebony and Ivory, which are some of his most powerful weapons. To use them, you will need to maintain distance and keep attacking your enemies to kill them. You will see in our gameplay how the spider-looking demon just doesn't want to quit. So if you don't want to die quickly, you should just maintain the distance and keep moving away until you can get a better strategy to win. This tip is quite useful when you have low health remaining and you want to maintain the health while still trying to win. And that's about it for the tips and tricks. Now the game itself is quite extensive and I didn't really get a chance to discover everything in one go. I will keep adding more and more tricks till I find, and I would like you to know your opinions on the tips in the comments below. If you want more tips, you can simply visit the link in the description that we have added of our own website. And before leaving the video, please make sure to like, subscribe and ring that bell icon so you won't miss our future videos. Until next time, peace.